Hey, what's going on YouTube? Of course I'm against the whole hyping up the single black mother, not to tear them down, but I don't like how we're moving towards this whole idea that it's okay. Quite frankly, you have women who are almost having planned pregnancies knowing that the father's not going to be around because they feel like it's okay. And no one talks about the grandparents who are low key the secret backbone of the single black mother. Um, when I'm dealing with kids at school who are in trouble, or even the ones that are doing well, I find it funny that most of the time I'm dealing with the grandparents. Oh, I live with my grandma. Oh, my grandma's going to pay for my cell phone bill. Oh, my grandpa's going to pick me up. He's going to buy me new clothes. They never talk about that, right? They want to act like they're doing it on their own, and it's not to slight them, but it's to let them understand that, yo, you can't do it on your own. You really can't, right? Most of any girl that I've dated or some of my friends who came from single parent homes, they were always close with their grandparents. They were always close because the grandparents pretty much they fronted the bill. Right? They they live with them. Parents they needed back to school supplies. Grandparents were always there. Oh, they needed somebody to help co-sign and get them a car. It wasn't their mom that did it. It was the grandparents that did it. So they're like the secret guardian angel. But the problem is that group is dying off. We're getting older every day, and that group is slowly dying off. So what's going to happen now when that secret backbone is not there anymore? And the single black mother really gets a understanding of how hard it is. You're going to see foster care go up. We're already leading in that category. In California, I believe we're second to Hispanics, but if my memory serves me correct, that's more so due to the fact that they have a larger number. It's like 30,000 in Southern California, and well, not even. Excuse me. I think it's Los Angeles County and 18,000 in Los Angeles County, in terms of Hispanics and blacks respectively. So if you break down the numbers, for those of you guys who are into stats, you'll clearly understand that we are leading the way in terms of foster care. That's the true reality of what's going on. It's not that the single black mother is going to get better. It's foster care is going to grow up. And the numbers of black children in foster care is just going to skyrocket. And I don't know if you guys have ever dealt with a child in foster care, but I mean, your sympathy goes out to them. You can't even understand their world. You can't even begin to understand the whole idea of just not having any parents. Or, if you had some, either they're dead or they're strung out on drugs or in jail. I mean, it's hard to eventually then get mad at that person, that child, that man or girl when they turn 18 and they can't do it on their own. Because, they're pretty much kicked out of foster care at 18. The likelihood of them being adopted, especially if they're older, is relatively low. I mean, I've seen cases where children enter foster care, when they're in middle school and high school because the quote-unquote strong single black mother couldn't cut it anymore and grandparents weren't there to take the bill. I've seen it happen, and it's a serious issue that we're not talking about. I don't want to get to the point where you have the grandparents dying off and the number of black children in foster care goes up. Then we want to address the issue, because it's an issue right now. We need to stop glamorizing this situation, because most of the time it really isn't based off of the single efforts of that mother alone, right? The single black mother sometimes doesn't want to disclose the whole idea of some fathers actually paying child support, right? My parents are divorced, but quite frankly, my dad paid child support and he was there. So the whole financial burden of the single black mother isn't always applicable to their situation, right? Give me a single black mother with no help, no other source of income, no grandparents, no father paying alimony or child support or whatever, and see what happens. And then we'll talk about foster care. and then we'll talk about a whole nother issue in itself. So, let me know how you feel. Take it easy. God bless.